Good afternoon, y'all. This is Ned over at myphilippinedreams.com, and as I promised, we're going to be doing some interviews with some expats. First up is Mario. Mario's been here for a little while, and he's getting ready to leave in a very short time. And my first question to Mario is, when did you arrive in the Philippines?
Hi, Ned. I've been here for a couple years now. I guess I got here in March 2013 when I came to visit my wife for the first time. And I just came for a short time. At that time I came for 3 weeks. And I enjoyed the country. I enjoyed what I saw here and I enjoyed the climate and everything else. So I went back home and then just to think about my whole life and what I was going to do. And then after being home for about a month and chatting with my wife again, I decided to come back. And I was back here for a couple months. And at that time I proposed and I married her, which was something I've never done in my life before. A little bit crazy, but I think this country has a way of getting inside you sometimes and making you do things you've never done before. And then I went back and for another couple of months, got all my things organized so I could come back and live here for about a year and a half, which is I've been here ever since.
Okay, and you're not. This isn't your first time out of your home country. You've traveled around.
Yeah, I've been around South America, the Caribbean, around Europe, a little bit of Asia.
Okay. Now, so far, what have you liked most about your stay here in the Philippines?
The number one would have to be the woman. I met my honey here, so but any guy that's looking to find love or just to find companionship or to find romance or anything you're looking for in women, you will find the most beautiful women on the planet here, I think so. Second would be nature. Nature is pretty amazing here. It's like God's land. It's like Hawaii. It's very wild, very lush. You'll see all kinds of flowers, being orchids, being birds of paradises, amazing jungles to walk through. And the third would be the weather. If you like it hot, stay on the beach. If you like it a little bit cooler, stay up in the mountains. And you can get both. You can stay up in the mountains and visit the beach in the daytime and have the best of both worlds. No more minus 30s and minus 40s. You got 2 seasons in the Philippines. One is hot and the other one's hotter.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically you have a lot of options as to where you want to be and who you want to be with. And yeah, in case people don't know, a good number of people do come here for the beautiful women. And yeah, I agree. They're definitely the most beautiful women in the world. And they're very nice. And they're good cooks.
Yeah, good cook, good lovers, good companions, good caretakers. You'll be treated like royalty, like you've never been treated by a woman before, which is nice. Yeah, I thought that didn't exist in a modern country like in Europe or North America, but here I found it again.
Excellent. Okay, so we did what you liked most about the Philippines. Now let's get into what you liked least about your stay here.
Do we have 2 hours?
We could edit it out.
I'll say my top 3. My top 3 when I first got here was the pollution, number 1, which is the pollution of noise, the pollution of smoke, the pollution of videoke, the pollution of roosters everywhere. You're going to be, your senses are going to be attacked when you get here. If you're not sensitive, I'm extremely sensitive to noise and smells and everything that's exterior to me. I had a hard time adjusting to the barking dogs and all this constant noise and distraction where you can't find peace and quiet.
Like the banging behind us?
Yeah, there's one guy going at it right now. There you go, and it's Jack, too.
Jack Mack and the heart attack. Thanks, Jack.
And then, secondly, I came here to buy a house and do some business and get involved in the Philippine life. But after looking at the process, it's quite difficult to make some money here because the Filipinos themselves don't have much money. So their amount of disposable budget per day is, $1, $1.50. So you got to sell a lot of those $1.50 items in order to be making some money. And then even if you were to go through that process, you would have a lot of heartaches and headaches to deal with because the bureaucracy is quite complicated and quite heavy. And you will need all kinds of permits, being from a mayor's permit to the city permits to a BIR permit. Not that I'm saying you don't have to get this in North America, but here it's very, very long process. I've met some people that were in business and they actually had a full-time person that would look after these issues, these permits and paying the taxes every month and all this. So in the long run, you're working for basically nothing. So if you like to do something for just the passion of doing it and for fun, then it's okay. If you're here to actually make a living like I am, and because I'm not retired yet, it's a little bit difficult in doing it.
Good point.
So would I do it again? Start a business? No. And then I went into the buying the house thing. When I first came here, same thing. You want to buy a house, you want to have a nice place to live, be comfortable. But the whole idea of buying a house again is that you cannot own land here. You cannot own property under your own name. So it has to be under your wife's name or under a corporation. So either one, it's never yours. And I've heard so many stories of people that have bought and the title looks clear and then the right-of-way is blocked. You can't access your lot anymore. Somebody will come up and claim the lot because they weren't contacted during the time of the sale and they said they had a piece of it. So then you got to go to court, defend yourself. And you're always looking over your shoulder. So until they get this whole lots and things fixed up and, you know, make it a little bit more like in a modern country, I will not be buying any kind of property. The ones that I've seen that have done it have all told me against it. The funniest story is one guy one of my landlords actually, he told me, if you had to do it again, would you do it again? And he said, listen, Mario, says, I wouldn't buy land here now if they paid me. So I think I took that advice. The guy's 80 years old. He's been around, and he can give good advice because he's burnt out of everything he had to go through, court cases and everything. And I've heard hundreds of these stories. So it's up to you. If you want to do it, you can do it. Some people are lucky. There are a few people I met that have been lucky, been around for 10, 15 years and having no issues. But the grand majority have had